I just fucking got salmon from Publix and there's a motherfucking worm in my salmon.
So I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so. The presence of Anisaki's parasites in sushi fish has actually increased about 283% in the last 40 years, skyrocketing right now at the highest point it has been in 2020 because of course this year is going to ruin sushi.
Trying to cook a chicken by slapping it, part 2. So after the first robot got the chicken to 95 degrees before exploding, I knew I wanted to push it even further. The mount was the part that failed, so I designed a new, stronger mount that uses angle brackets, and to try to help the chicken retain more heat, I covered the entire containment unit in a layer of insulating foam. And after a little bit of a bumpy start, the second live stream was well on its way. We have a current temperature of 64 degrees. We started the second test, and the chicken was again heating up just as we expected. 68! Bit by bit, that temperature continued to rise. 75 degrees, holy crap! We were beginning to reach a critical point. 77 degrees, let's go! Cranking it! Oh, what happened? No, what? We pushed so hard that the motor overheated, but we also learned this insulation didn't do much to help. Luckily for part 3, I had an even better trick up my sleeve, so don't miss it.
So in the same way that not every clear liquid is water, not every gas is oxygen. Mix together some vinegar and baking soda. This is going to cause carbon dioxide bubbles to form, and then you can literally just pour out the flame. Need a reminder about atmospheric pressure? Take a can with some water in it, heat it up, and place it straight into ice water. Watch it get crushed. Example of property of impulse. If I throw an egg at a surface with some give, then it's fine. But if I throw an egg at a surface with not so much give, somebody's got to clean that up. Jayus, how does it work? Physics, bitch.
Raga, benvenuti a Vero oppure Fake. La mia previsione per questo video è che sia vero, ma prima ricordatevi di seguirmi, mettere mi piace a questo video e di taggarmi sotto al prossimo video virale per scoprire se è vero oppure fake. Ma prima scrivetemi nei commenti se vi piace la nuova grafica di Vero o Fake. Per questo video ci serviranno dei dischetti struccanti come questi e dell'acqua micellare o del sapone. Io questa l'ho rubata dalla mia ragazza, quindi spero che non si arrabbi. Prendo un dischetto struccante e ci verso sopra un goccino di acqua micellare in questo modo. Adesso guardate cosa succede se ci soffio attraverso. Quindi raga, questo video è 100% vero.
Things you never knew you could buy, part 2. This device lets you house your own miniature ecosystem. Each terrarium comes with several different types of self-sustaining moss that will actually create their own fog. These things are a great way to enjoy the experience of botany without ever having to worry about maintaining anything.
You can't tell me that we're not living in a simulation anymore. Oh my god, this is too damn funny. So, CDC guidelines on mask wearing. Fully vaccinated people under certain conditions don't have to wear a mask. And so you have the people that have taken this pandemic seriously. They wore their masks, they socially distanced, they stayed home when they needed to, they got vaccinated. Some of them are like, yes, we don't have to wear a mask anymore. Then you have some of them that are like, I'm still going to wear a mask because I don't want to be seen as one of these anti-mask, anti-vax, COVID denialer people. Then, of course, everybody knows that QAnon believes that, like, there's vaccine shedding. It's not a thing, but that's why they're now wearing masks. Now you have the people that aren't that crazy, but are still really crazy because they're anti-mask, anti-vax, and COVID is a hoax that now want to wear a mask because they don't want to be seen as a vaccinated liberal. I can't! They don't want to be seen as sheep!
Stitch this and tell me the space fact that just makes your brain go.
I was just a guest on the Historical AF podcast to talk about eerie space facts, and I learned about a couple of things that are just freaking me out. The first is the Fermi paradox. I'd heard of this before, but hadn't looked too closely at it. In 1950, physicist Enrico Fermi was at lunch with his colleagues one day and famously exclaimed, "Where is everybody?" in reference to the lack of evidence of other intelligent life in the universe. Given the age and vastness of our universe, it's probable that there are other advanced civilizations out there. Possibly many of them, and possibly ones that are much more advanced than us, so why haven't we heard from them? We could just be too far away. We might also be looking for the wrong type of signal. Radio has been around for about 100 years and has already become a less prevalent form of communication on Earth, so maybe the aliens closest to us just aren't broadcasting radio signals anymore, or they never started. Additionally, there's the very unsettling possibility that we're completely alone in the universe. Another possibility is the dark forest hypothesis, which I talk about in part 2, out now.
Because of our immune system, no virus or bacteria has ever wiped out the entire human race. Is that your threshold for quality of life? The plague alone killed 1/3 of all Europeans. No, I want more, he says. Antibiotics were only invented in 1928. And before that, one could expect to live with tuberculosis for 3 years. And by that I mean, cough themselves to death slowly with tuberculosis for 3 years. Vaccines took the human life expectancy from 35 to 80 years old. Which I imagine you're older than 35. And you have vaccines to thank for that. So this is awkward. All I hear when you say things like this is, I don't know what an immune system is, but I heard it once and now I'm gonna use it every day. Google is free.